Okay. How are you? How is your day? Okay. So I just could open my book. Hope that you're okay. So this new book, let me explain to you. We already saw that the most basic grammar, intermediate grammar, even intermediate, high intermediate grammar. So it's these classes are not going to be really about grammar. We're just going to have a review, but we want to focus on vocabulary and speaking. That's the approach of this book, right? Vamos a ir dejando ya eh, gramática. La gramática ya sabemos realmente gramática. Ahora lo que vamos a integrar es vocabulario y más actividades para hablar. De hecho, en la interacción del libro, todo es así para poder practicar speaking, right? So will require a lot of participation from your side. Vamos a requerir mucha participación de su parte. Um, so the point is that now we know everything. We could say we will have maybe some reviews, but we know basically everything. We will just have the review of grammar, but this vocabulary and these activities are meant to help you now to have the the left kicking, we could call the left kick or impulse that you need to speak. Okay, very well. So this book is separated in, I'm not sure in my screen, 1 second. We also have a presentation plus, but we explain the PDF, which is the simple version. So these are um, the units. We have 12 units. Again, we have some part for vocabulary. We start with vocabulary, reading, grammar. We have a lot of reading activities. We have a lot of listening activities. So now we want to have an approach, right? Like trying to have a class with more speaking and more interaction. Okay, so now this is for you to know the approach of the book. This is how we will be working. And the units, well, the topics are a little bit like, I don't know, but now they have like a more adult approach, while the others were a little bit like young adult. Now this is um, I don't know how to call it, uh, like a adult normal life, right? Well, so there are a variety of topics that we will cover from social life, work, and etc. So here first we have this section that is the starting point. That's number one. The starting point is like the unit starter. Is the unit starter. Here we have to talk a little bit about the contents of the unit. And this is like an introduction to the topics. Then we have an activity for speaking. Then we have a review about grammar, but I told you the approach is not really explaining the grammar like we used to. And speaking again, you see we have two activities for speaking now in the unit. There is listening. There is another activity for speaking. So that's three activities for speaking. Then we have writing. And then we have the part B, which is reading. We have another opportunity for speaking. We have grammar again and another opportunity of speaking. So you see, there's opportunities for the speaking activity all the time. So that's now what we will focus on. Okay. So here, the first part is the personality survey. So here, I don't know if you ever completed any surveys. There are some surveys on Facebook or on the internet, or maybe you've made a survey to get a job, right? They are very interesting. So the first in the personality survey, so they say the personality survey, I don't know, like on Facebook, they tell you what kind of I don't know, what kind of person you are or what kind of animal you are, ¿no? Entonces haces ahí tu encuesta ahí en Facebook y das así que respondes preguntas y te dicen qué tipo de animal eres, ¿no? O qué tipo de, creo que sería uno como pan, ¿no? ¿Qué tipo de pan eres? I don't know, those kind of things. Well, so we'll check this, right? We're going to talk about, as you can see, vocabulary related to personality. And well, so just a little bit like that. Vocabulary about personality. We're going to try to get more so you can express yourself. Okay. So we will be reading and you guys will tell me if you agree, if you definitely agree, somewhat agree, or definitely disagree. Okay, so the first one, I'm not afraid of giving speeches in front of the class. Do you know what is speeches? Speech, you know, speech? You know the word speech?
Yes, is discurso.
Hmm? Mhm. Very well, discurso. So, speeches is the plural, right? Don't confuse with the word speechless. Speechless quiere decir que te quedas sin hablar. Speechless. So, one thing is speech, speeches, discursos, speechless, quedarse sin palabras. Okay. So yeah, that's number one. Not afraid of giving speeches in front of the class. And we have, you have to tell me how you feel. Do you agree? Do you somewhat agree? Definitely disagree.
Somewhat agree.
Mhm. Okay, somewhat agree. Very well. How about everyone else? Reina, how would you define yourself with this sentence? Do you agree? Somewhat agree? Disagree?
About giving speeches?
Yes.
Definitely agree.
Okay. Very well. Everyone else? Dante and Itzel and Itzel. What will you say to this?
I think that I agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Maybe I know I don't know, but I can overcome the panic into give a speech in public. Like I don't feel panicked. Uh, I mean, I can be in front of class or I can be in front of a very big group. Because in the past I was learning music and I was in a music conservatory and we gave concerts like for I remember we were there in front of 500 people. So I was not really afraid. Well, I mean maybe I was, but those experiences have helped me. Sorry, have helped me to overcome fear. And I think I've been in bigger events, so I don't know, maybe in front of 3,000 people or something. So um, I can tell you that that's scary. Imagine you are in a stadium and you are like 13 years old and you have to give a speech and there is like a stadium full of people sitting and there were like 3,000 people or more. Um, so yeah, these things have helped me. But depending on the kind of person, I will talk to also will give me, I don't know, more, I will be more afraid or less afraid. Okay, the number 2, it says, I enjoy going to parties where I don't know everyone. I will have to say here that I definitely disagree. Do you enjoy going to parties even if you don't know anyone?
No, definitely disagree.
Okay, very well. Perfect. And number 3 says, I avoid expressing my feelings and ideas in public. Do you agree, somewhat agree, or disagree?
Somewhat agree.
Somewhat agree. Very good. I would say the same. The previous one about the parties, for me is first, I'm not a party goer, so I don't like going to parties where I don't know everybody. I don't feel comfortable. It's different when when you have an event, when you have to do something, when you have to perform something, but you don't have to interact with the people. When you have to interact in a party, for me, it's cringe. It's strange. And about the ideas in public, maybe do you like posting on Twitter? Do you like uh, commenting posts on Facebook? For example, you go to any post on Facebook and you will find people giving comments on Facebook, even fighting in social media. Have you seen people arguing in social media? There is a controversial post and there's a lot of people commenting. And then the person responds to other person and that person responds to the other person and now they are fighting on Facebook. Do you ever comment on Facebook or in social media?
No, teacher, I don't comment. I prefer react.
Yeah, so also the thing is I prefer to be quiet. If you are, if you give your opinion, you don't know like other people, the more talkative you are, the more they know you, and the more they, you don't know what kind of people are good and what people are bad or have bad intentions. So, I always, when I meet a person, maybe the way I was raised, but I don't give a lot of information to people, especially when I just met them. I don't give them a lot of information about my work, about where I live, about where I don't know, I just don't like that. I don't feel comfortable, even if I feel sure in that environment, but I don't give this information for people. And for me, there are some questions like when I see people that make me uncomfortable. For example, sometimes there's some friends or when you're meeting people, like for me, there are red flags. No sé, conocerlos primera vez and they ask you like, what do you do for a living? ¿No? Como, ¿a qué te dedicas? They ask you, where do you live? Or they ask, well, I think where do you live is common, but they, for example, ask you like how much you earn. I've known people that ask, how much do you earn? Como, ¿cuánto ganas? Y, ¿qué haces? Ay, and, those kind of questions for me, especially when they are about money, when they orbit about money, for me, it's like a red flag. So I don't give information to people. I try to escape from those questions. I try to escape, I don't like this really. Not even friends, that like you have to be a very good friend so I can share like more information about my life. I mean, with you, I can share some things, but that's in my case. I don't feel confident giving information about my personal life with other people. Okay, the next one, number 4, is interesting. I insist on making my own decisions. This is like how stubborn you are. Are you stubborn? Are you not stubborn? Stubborn, remember, is terco.
Sorry, what is the pronunciation? Stubborn?
Stubborn.
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Stubborn. Terco. So, and stubborn is a negative thing. You can also say like persistent, right? So, how do you feel about the question? Well, not question, but the sentence 4. It says, "I insist on making my own decisions." Do you agree? Somewhat agree? Definitely disagree?
Somewhat agree.
Very well.
Somewhat agree. It depends on the moment.
Very well. Excellent. Very well. So I don't know. I think I definitely agree. I don't want to say that I'm stubborn, but I am. Okay, number 5. I don't mind giving up my time to help other people. Give up your time. Give up means to give your time, but you give it like without any restrictions, dar sin restricciones y sin ningún, yeah, that's like give up your time, like freely darlo con mucha generosidad. I don't mind giving up my time to help other people. How do you agree? Somewhat agree or definitely disagree?
Somewhat agree.
Mm-hmm. So what? How about everyone else? Itzel, how do you feel about the question 5? I don't mind giving up my time to help other people.
I think that. ¿Cuál
Okay,
es el teacher?
sorry. Okay, Itzel, please.
Me, teacher?
Yes.
Okay, I think that sometimes it's necessary to help other people, depend the circumstance.
Yeah.
But but sometimes the people is bueno, sí es.
Mhm.
¿Cómo puedo decir?
How? What do you want to say?
Pide cosas, o sea, pide ayuda.
People ask, pedir is ask. People asks for things. People ask for things.
People ask for things that is out of my hands.
Mhm. Very well. Yeah, that's true. In my case, number 5, I definitely agree. I have had situations. I mean, I help very often my community. There are many things you can do, you know, like you can see around and the world is full of people who need your help, starting with your family, but there are friends or there are things in the community, right? There are like children that need help. There are families that are truly poor. There are like people who live in poverty, like in a real poverty. I don't mean poor that, oh, I can't buy my iPad, no, no me refiero a gente que, ay, no, es que no me alcanza para el iPad o para la tele, ¿no? I'm talking about people who barely have a roof. They have a roof made of metal and they just get the necessary food or even they lack food, ¿no? Y no tienen los medios ni siquiera para comprar comida. And these people are real. There are people that are like this. There are people in the streets, so well, maybe not giving my time because that can be very, very, very fast. For example, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. So a month ago, I was entering an OXXO, and there was this guy, and he asked me if I could buy him some food. Me pidió si le podía comprar comida. So I was like, yes, why not? So I just got inside. I bought something. Obviously, no, I didn't buy chips, no le compré papas ni nada, no. I bought like a sandwich, something like that. And I gave it to him. But then there was another guy, después se acercó otro chico, hace una semana. So I was washing the car, and this guy was chubby, was a man. Y, bueno, estaba, no quiero como sonar discriminatorio, pero estaba gordito. O sea que yo creo que comida no le hacía falta. And he looked like a little bit like he was using drugs or something. I don't know why, but it's like that. He would say, "Can you give me 5 pesos?" You know, and so I just felt like I wouldn't help this person. So I can help people like with food in the street. Yo prefiero darles comida y no dinero. Especially if they are kids, that's really not good idea to give them money, you know. They said that even the government recommends to report these people. Si ves a un niño trabajando en la calle, dicen repórtalo. No es bueno darles dinero. Finally, kids don't want money. Los niños no quieren dinero, no saben para qué es el dinero. There is an adult that is exploiting that kid, right? Hay un adulto detrás que está explotando a ese niño. Puede ser el padre que realmente lo necesiten, o puede ser otra persona u otra cosa, right? So it's terrible. It's terrible. Like, these kind of things are very unfair, but I try to see, a veces dicen, hace el bien sin mirar a quién, ¿no? But in my case, I can't unsee some things, yeah, you know? O sea, no es lo mismo este chico que me pidió comida y este chico que me pide dinero y yo pienso, like, I feel like I'm a little bit like, I feel bad. I think bad about other people, que a veces pienso mal de otros, but I think lo quiere para drogas, para emborracharse. O sea, comida no le falta. Yo lo pues es que no es impossible for me to see him and I see you don't need food. I'm sorry, you don't need food. Maybe there's a disease, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit discriminatory. I don't want to be like that, but in my opinion, I don't help when they ask me for money, you know. I would give them other things. But I also try to help friends and other people when they are in need. I don't know why I'm a good counselor. Resulta que soy buen, aunque nunca sé qué decir en una situación difícil, pero sí soy como que puedo decir palabras correctas para ayudar a la persona. And I make them feel good. That's something that I have. I can make a person feel good, but it's something honest, you know, and I just try to help it. Okay, the number 6 is I never worry about getting places on time. That means you always arrive on time. Siempre llegas a tiempo. What do you think about number 6, everyone? I never worry about getting places on time.
For me, definitely disagree because I'm always worry about getting place on time. I'm anxious if I don't get on time.
Yes. I have to say that, yeah, I struggle arriving on time or doing things on time, but I'm improving little by little. Things are changing. Okay, let's see now. Number 7. I always feel like going dancing. This is definitely disagree for me. I don't like dancing. And you? Reina, do you like dancing?
I love dancing. For
Mhm.
me, it's definitely a way. I dancing in the gym, in the supermarket, all the
So
time.
you like to, what kind of music do you like to dance?
Latinos,
Latino music. Okay.
yes. But well, I dancing Latinos, folklore.
Mhm.
Yes. All the time dancing. The here I there are a musician. Music is ¿cómo dice? Chilenas.
Mhm.
I love dance chilenas.
Okay. Good. In my case, no, I have two left feet. I'm very clumsy. Yo soy muy torpe para bailar. I'm very clumsy. Okay. Very well. But I think that this is something good. Sometimes you need to be less serious. You need to try to relax and I think that dancing gives you that thing that helps you not take things so seriously, to lose the fear of being embarrassed. Como que perder el miedo de ser una persona vergonzosa. Bueno, más bien que sea vergüenza, ¿no? I think that is good when a person dances, like they are more confident, como que son más, confían más en sí mismos, ¿no? A veces somos más penosos y así, entonces nos da miedo hacer como el ridículo, no saber bailar. So I think it's good, thing that when you dance, especially in public, like you are fighting against that. How about you, Nubian? How do you feel about dancing?
I like dance, but I'm not a good dancer.
But do you like to do it?
Yes, in a party, so when I am alone and I play some music,
Mhm.
I dance by my own. That that it's correct.
Mhm. Very well. How about you, Dante?
Um, yes, I like to dance. In Paris, for example, I like to go to dance with
Mhm.
the other people.
Very well. And itself, how do you feel about dancing in number 7?
I like dancing in parties, familiar parties, or with my friends. But in parties, when I don't know uh, many people, I don't like dancing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very well. And yeah, like I told you, it depends a lot of your personality. If you are a person who is more extrovert, like even I would say cheerful, right? Now, I always see these friends and they are cheerful, son alegres, self-confident, son como, no que sé que quienes no bailan no lo sean, pero como que tienen más esa, como que confiar en sí mismos, you know? It's like they are self-confident. While we sometimes are more reserved, a veces otros somos más reservados y así como que nos da miedo hacer cualquier cosa que pudiera considerarse como ridículo. No porque bailar sea ridículo, sino porque quizá no sabemos bailar. And we feel like we will look bad. But like we think too much about what other people think. But something positive about what people who dance do is that they don't really care. Quizá no les importa mucho lo que otras personas piensen. And that is something very positive in life. Eso es algo muy positivo, ¿no? En la vida. Yeah, I think it's a very useful quality, right? There are some qualities and there are some abilities that help you throughout your life. And other qualities, they help you to be a happy person. You know what I mean? There are these qualities. Hay cualidades que te ayudan en la vida, te dan habilidades, te ayudan en tu trabajo. Y hay cualidades que te ayudan, no tanto en esa parte, pero te ayudan a ser una persona más feliz, you know? And to have a more positive view of life. And I think that is very positive. Number 8 says, I can't stand being in a messy, disorganized room. No soporto estar en un cuarto desordenado. Messy is like there is mess, there is clothes, there are clothes, there are socks everywhere, there are disorganized. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Nubia, what do you think?
Somewhat agree because I am a messy person. So I can be in a disorganized room, but then I order all the things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They say that disorganized people tend to be also more creative. Who knows?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. You know, before I am a very disorganized person, but I have improved. And now that I'm married, I can't be really disorganized because I would freak my wife out. I would make her math. So honestly, maybe before, yeah, I used to be disorganized, never dirty, you know. I never consider myself dirty. Really, I always like take care, you know. I'm worried about germs, about contamination, about bacteria. So I was always telling my mom when I used to live, cuando solía vivir con mis padres, y yo le decía a mi mamá, but it's not dirty, no está sucio, solo está desordenado, you know? Like I thought there's a difference because there was no dirt, no había como polvo en mi cuarto, or it was not smelling bad, no olía mal ni nada. But yeah, maybe I was a little bit lazy after school. I just put my clothes, quizás solo tiraba la ropa a la cama y no la doblaba or things like this. But, you know, now that was me when I was an adolescent. Maybe I have improved. I hope so. I have improved a little bit. because again, I have never considered myself to be a dirty person. Nunca me he considerado como que con falta de higiene o algo así, pero quizá el orden, sí, sí he fallado en el orden de mis cosas. Okay, let's see, number 9. I prefer telling people how I feel, even if it's embarrassing. How do you feel about this? Are you a frank person?
For me, definitely disagree, because if I don't know that people, I prefer don't telling anything. Just hide.
Yeah, me too. If it's a good friend, maybe I will tell the things straight. Con amigos sí soy muy directo, but if with people, I just try to ignore some things. I don't like to confront people. A mí no me gusta como confrontar a nadie, honestly. But well, let's continue. So in this, you can see some things that we are seeing indirectly, that after all these expressions, you see these sentences, they have something in common. Todos los verbos tienen algo en común. Check. For example, afraid of, giving, enjoy, going, avoid, expressing, insist on, making. What do all these verbs have in common? What do they have in common? All these verbs.
ing.
Exactly, very well. So the germ form, the ing, you can use it in many situations. First, because when we have some words like of, they are called prepositions. Of is a preposition. On is a preposition. About is a preposition. Okay, so after this, you need to write the verb in ing. Okay, other verbs, for example, they want the gerund. For example, avoid, you cannot say avoid to express. You say avoid expressing. The same, don't mind giving. Okay, and so on. So yeah, in this case, you can see that when you want to express yourself, in many situations, you use the ing. So just remember to write the verb with ing and not without the ing. So for example, it's not correct to say, I'm not afraid of give. You need to say afraid of giving. It's very important that you don't forget the ing. Okay. Very well. And also we see that there are some personality traits, right? You can see that some people can be like more like one way or more like another. Okay. So let's see, how can we check now? We could be like this. In the question number 1, I'm sorry. Well, so I was telling you, these traits help you to define some kinds of personality. For example, a person can be frank. Frank means someone who, we could say like honesto, pero no, realmente es franco, directo, right? Frank. We have other words, but you don't confuse them, okay? In English, for example, the word honest no es alguien que siempre dice la verdad, sino alguien que siempre actúa con ética. Ajá, that is honest. O sea, honesto en inglés no es alguien que siempre, sorry for that. No es alguien que siempre dice la verdad, es alguien que siempre, o sea, alguien que no miente, pero que es moralmente o éticamente una persona buena, podríamos decir. Someone who is honest, for example, who doesn't steal, alguien que no roba y así, right? Honest. Sincere. Sincere is the same thing. Sincere is about motivation, it's about purity of your motivation. Se refiere como al qué tan pura es tu motivación, ¿no? A sincere person is someone who it can be good, una persona buena. Podemos decir sincere is someone who is a good person, who does something or who says something out of the heart, que dice algo de su corazón. Por ejemplo, si alguien dice algo de forma sincera en inglés, so sincere, sincero no es franco, no es directo, sincero es que lo dices de corazón, right? En frank is the only word that means direct. Que frank es la única palabra de estas tres que significa ser directo, ¿ok? Al grano. O incluso aunque duela lo que puedes decir. That's frank. Honest is someone who doesn't steal and who always acts in a good way, in a moral way. And sincere is someone who says something out of the heart. Okay, very well. Well, we can also think about people who, how will you call this person that always goes to Paris? How will you call the person that always goes to Paris? ¿Cómo llamar a esa persona que siempre va a fiestas, loves dancing? How will you call that kind of person?
Maybe sociable.
Very well. So which of these do you feel more identified with? ¿Con cuál de estos se sienten ustedes más identificados? Kind and generous, friendly and outgoing, shy and reserved, or wild and crazy? Which one defines more your personality? For example, I would say maybe kind and generous. Maybe I'm not always friendly. Maybe I try to be more nice, but sometimes I'm not very friendly. But I think I'm kind because I think about other people. I'm not really shy. Wild and crazy sometimes. And you? Which of these words could define you?
I am kind and friendly, but with some people, and I am shy and reserved.
Very good. Someone else? Okay, guys, so tomorrow we'll see this vocabulary and even more. You know, now these activities are more about speaking. So these classes will be like that. So I appreciate your participation. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, well, Take care and see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you,
Una
teacher.
pregunta.
Goodbye.
Thank you,
No se
teacher.
vaya.
Yes.
I have a question. Me quedé con esa duda. It's a debate the same as a speech? Because
Speech is what? Sorry.
¿Qué?
Can you repeat?
It's a debate the same as a speech? ¿Un debate lo mismo
No.
que un discurso?
No. A debate is usually between two or more people.
Ujú.
And debate is confronting two different ideas. And a speech is just maybe one idea, and you explain that idea. For example, a politician could give a speech from explaining some things about the government. But a debate is a confrontation of ideas. Maybe not fight, but it's a confrontation. I say something, and I tell you the reasons. Then you tell me something, and you tell me your reasons. A debate is more an interaction. A speech, no one else participates, and a speech is just one person talking.
Okay. How do you say surgen? Bueno, como decir, surgen ideas en el momento. No sé.
En el momento.
Ajá, como decir surgen, eso es lo que no sé.
Okay.
Surgen.
Well, when you can say come across when they come at the moment. Come across es que algo surge de forma espontánea. Come across. For example, you can say come across with ideas. Se me ocurrieron o surgieron algunas ideas. You can, depende que sería surgir, ¿no? Depende lo que surge o cómo surge, ¿no? Pero come across, you can say come across with ideas or come across with words, con palabras.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah? Is
Sí.
that it?
Sí.
Very well.
Thank you.
So take